FORA.tv. The world is thinking.
Let me begin with a story that, for me, defines the essence of Condoleezza Rice's style as Secretary of State. In July 2004, her final year as National Security Advisor, she traveled to Beijing and had a difficult conversation with State Councilor Tang Zaijuan, one of China's most senior officials. She had been allotted 1 hour for her meeting with Tang, and then she was scheduled to meet with President Hu Jintao. But Tang launched into an angry blast at the administration's handling of Taiwan, speaking in a monologue that lasted for nearly 55 minutes. Finally, he paused. "I've spoken too long," Tang said in mock apology. "Yes, you've talked too long," Rice replied with a sharpness that seemed to surprise Tang. She used the remaining 5 minutes to briefly and pointedly dissect his arguments before marching out of the room. 8 months later, Condoleezza Rice was Secretary of State, and she was planning her first trip to Asia. This time, it was time to make Tang sweat. Every time someone tried to insert a meeting with Tang on her schedule, Rice knocked it off. "Not enough time for a meeting," she said. The Chinese government, particularly the embassy in Washington, became apoplectic. So did many Asia hands at the State Department. Rice was scheduled to meet with the foreign minister, but in the Chinese system, the state counselor outranked the foreign minister, so if Tang would lose face if Rice met with the foreign minister, but not with him. But Rice was firm. There was no time for Tang. A meeting with Tang was still not on Rice's schedule when her plane landed in Beijing. After she entered her hotel suite, she unexpectedly received a vast smorgasbord of Chinese sweets, fruit, and wine. "Compliments of State Councilor Tang," read the little card that came with the food. As Rice and her aides began to devour the luscious delicacies, she began to muse out loud, knowing full well that every word she uttered was being recorded by hidden Chinese listening devices. "What do you think?" she asked her aides. "Should I see him?" A meeting was finally scheduled, and State Councilor Tang turned out to be extremely interested and solicitous to hear Rice's views. As you can see, Rice has an instinct for the jugular. In public, she is almost always gracious and charming. Behind closed doors, she can be tough and direct, shocking foreign diplomats into action because they assume her words reflect the views of her very close friend, the President of the United States.